Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here. In this video, we'll be talking about the Redmi 10A. So Xiaomi has launched the Redmi 10A in India and they call this smartphone as the Desh Ka smartphone, meaning the smartphone of the nation. So basically they are catering to the budget or entry level segment with decent hardware, and this smartphone is priced 8499, that's 8500 rupees for the base variant, and you also get another variant for 9500 rupees. Now the Redmi 9A was launched in 2020 and that also came with similar hardware. In terms of hardware, actually the Redmi 9A and Redmi 10A does not have a lot of things changing, but the things that have changed is the software experience. You get the MIUI 12.5 on this device and an upgraded design. So is it really the Desh Ka smartphone of 2022? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So before getting started, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's get started with the detailed review of the new Redmi 10A. So let's start off the detailed review of the Redmi 10A with the design and build quality. Now one of the things that has changed with the Redmi 10A compared to the Redmi 9A has to be the design. You can see that the camera unit has been changed. You have the integrated fingerprint scanner. It's a single camera, but it looks like a quad camera setup, but it's single camera and you get LED flash and the Redmi branding. This is a glossy finish actually, while this is completely matte finish, and you can also see a pattern on the back panel. Now the back panel design definitely looks refreshing and it actually feels nice with the matte finishing, and it feels quite good in hands as well. Now we get the power and volume keys on the right side, the left side also the SIM tray which has a dedicated SD card slot. Now the bottom you get the micro USB charging port, that's definitely disappointing, the speaker unit, and up top you get the 3.5mm audio jack. On the front panel you get this water drop notch and the HD plus resolution display, the bezels on either sides, and the bottom chin looks quite okay for the budget segment it is being offered. So overall in terms of design there has been a change with respect to the Redmi 9A and you get a decent looking device out there. Next let's talk about the display aspect. Now it's an HD plus resolution display with a water drop notch, and you do get a decent brightness levels, around 400 nits of brightness, and the touch response feels quite okay, and the colors are quite good. It's not really a very vibrant or crisp display, but for an HD panel it does serve a decent experience, and you can see that the viewing angles are quite average, and the touch response feels quite okay. The colors could have been slightly richer, and also the brightness levels feel slightly less, especially when outdoor visibility, but overall the display experience is quite okay, I would say, for the budget segment. Next let's talk about the software. Now this device is powered by the MIUI 12.5. So Xiaomi has been launching all their newer devices with the MIUI 13, but this device comes with MIUI 12 out of the box. That's definitely disappointing because MIUI 12.5 is probably last year's version. This year MIUI 13 has been launched, so it should have been MIUI 13, and on top of that this is only Android 11. There's no Android 12. Xiaomi's almost all of the devices have been Android 11. Again here also you get only Android 11. Now in terms of experience, the UI experience is quite good. We didn't see any sort of lagginess here. It's quite responsive considering the processor it runs on, and the experience is quite okay. You get all the experience generally you see on MIUI devices here as well. There is no options which has been missed up, so here you get the complete MIUI experience, but again it should have been MIUI 13 at least, if not Android 12 on this device. So that's one of the disappointing aspect. Now moving on to the performance. Now this device comes with the Helio G25 octa-core processor with either 3GB RAM or 4GB RAM and 32GB storage or 64GB storage. Now the Redmi 9A also came with the Helio G25 octa-core processor that was launched in 2020. Now in 2022, after 1.5 years, we are still not seeing any upgrade in the processor. It's still the Helio G25 octa-core processor. Xiaomi should have gone with the Unisoc T610 processor at this price segment. It has actually better performance than the G25. So disappointing to see that Xiaomi has gone with only the earlier chip. No upgrade has been offered here. That's one of the disappointing aspects. But having said that, the Helio G25 is quite a decent chip, but a lot of devices are launching with better chips at this price segment. So that's one area where the Redmi 10A might lag behind. At this price segment we are seeing full HD resolution display and even the Unisoc T610 chip. So Xiaomi should be considering updating the processor, at least in the budget segment. Now it comes with 3GB RAM and 4GB RAM, but we would suggest you to go with the 4GB RAM and 64GB storage, because both RAM and storage are important here, and that's where you should be picking up the 4GB RAM, because it might have issues going forward with the 32GB storage. Next, let's move on to the fingerprint scanner. So it is a back mounted or rear mounted fingerprint scanner. It does a pretty good job, although it's slightly on the higher side considering it is placed similar to, integrated to the camera unit. It's slightly on the higher side, but nevertheless it does a good job. You also get a face unlock on this device. Now it does come with a dual SIM card slot for GLTE, voice over Wi-Fi. All the regular options are included, and the call quality and signal strength looks quite okay, and it is having a single speaker which is adequately loud enough for day-to-day usage. Next, let's move on to the camera. So you get a primary 13 megapixel camera, LED flash, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor, or rather 5 megapixel selfie camera. Now if you look at the camera UI, you do get 1080p resolution video recording, and you get pro mode, night mode is also included, portrait is there, certain options like short video and time lapse are also included. So it's a basic camera UI. It does feature all the options. Now let's have a look at the camera samples. You can see that the daylight shots came out quite well for a budget segment, although the dynamic range was not that great. Details are quite okay, colors also feels quite good, but again not a very accurate colors. Again you can't expect a very high quality photos at around 8500 price segment, but for the segment it does a decent job, and even the close-up shots also came out quite well. The selfie camera details also looks good for a 5 megapixel shooter. The low light experience is quite decent, again nothing to write about. It's kind of an average experience for the budget segment. So overall in terms of camera experience, it's a decent performer in terms of the camera performance. Now moving on to the battery life. So this device comes with a massive 5000 mAh battery, and for that it does provide a great experience. So the 5000 mAh battery can get you almost 1.5 days of battery life, and this is definitely good in terms of experience. But the disappointing aspect is the micro USB charging port. That's definitely one of the disappointing aspects. Again, no upgrade offered by Xiaomi comparing to the Redmi 9A. It also came with the micro USB. Here also you get the micro USB. That's again no upgrade. So that should have been avoided. And it's just a 10-watt charger. 10-watt charger at this price segment is not a bad option. Almost all brands are going with a 10-watt charger. So charging speed is kind of average. You might take around 2 to 3 hours to charge this battery. But more importantly, a lack of USB Type-C is definitely a downside. So that was our detailed experience with the Redmi 10A. So talking about the pros and cons, the pros include good design, solid build quality, fit and finish looks good, decent display experience, software and performance is decent, the cameras are also quite okay, the battery life also seems good for the price segment. Now the disappointing aspect, there is no MIUI 13 offered, again Android 11 only is available. Then Helio G25, no upgrade offered over the Redmi 9A, and then micro USB still being offered in 2022. That's definitely one of the disappointing aspects. So these are the pros and cons. So overall, if you look at this device, is it really the Desh ka smartphone which Xiaomi claims? To be very frank, this is kind of disappointing experience, because there is no major upgrade in terms of the hardware, the software experience, and even the cameras. Nothing much changed except for the design when comparing to the Redmi 9A launched almost 1.5 years back. So Redmi should have done slightly better, at least in terms of chipset experience. It should have done with a slightly better chip. But having said that, this is not a bad option. Comparing to the Redmi 9A, this is disappointing. But otherwise, for the 8500 segment, this offers decent experience overall. So that was our experience with the Redmi 10A, the Desh ka smartphone. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.